Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to day 28 of the 31 Days of Horror. D-Bougie86 here again, and I got a fun one for you guys today. The film that I checked out today was one that was in my collection for the longest time. I did start this a while back, but I never got a chance to finish it. And it's one that I always wanted to go back to and revisit. And this one's really interesting and bizarre, I have to say. It comes from a director that's films that we should all know. It's from director Takashi Miike, and it goes by the title of The Happiness of the Katakuris. Yes, now a little history on this film. Uh, this is actually a remake, yes. If you know, this is actually a remake of Kim Ji-woon's The Quiet Family, which was Kim Ji-woon's directorial debut, of course. Kim Ji-woon, the Korean director, who went on to direct like I Saw the Devil, A Tale of Two Sisters, A Bittersweet Life, and so on. This is actually a remake of his directorial debut that Takashi Miike put his own little spin on it, pretty much. It's kind of like its own little film, though, but it's pretty much like the same story as that one. So pretty much the main gist of this one, going into it, is we're introduced to the family of the Katakuris, which are husband and wife, grandfather, their two kids, and their daughter's young daughter also, who live at this quiet end that's in this like secluded like area and like this mountain area villa like type, and they're renting out a guest, and pretty much they have rooms to rent out, and pretty much it's very slow in the beginning. As you see, they haven't had guests in a while, but then all of a sudden they get their first guest, and he ends up committing suicide inside the guest room. So what they end up doing is like, oh my god, this is gonna be bad for business if our first guest, we find out he killed himself in there, and you know what I mean. So they end up hiding his body, and then more guests come, and terrible fates reside. So it's pretty much this family going through like this crazy like thing of like covering up like dead bodies everywhere, and it turns very batshit. That's pretty much the gist of this one without going too crazy into it. Now, my thoughts on it. This one's fucking super fun and odd, and it's very weird. The way that Miike directed this film, he did make this his like own version of the film, because I seen A Quiet Family a while ago. I kind of remember pieces of it. It wasn't as bizarre as this one, because what he does with this one, he makes it into a musical pretty much. This has musical numbers throughout it, and it's very lighthearted and entertaining, to say the least, especially with like the dark subject matter within it, because of certain aspects of the musical numbers are pretty funny. And I did like the characters. The grandfather is hilarious in this film. I love the chemistry between the father and the wife dynamic. And the kids are also great. The son's kind of like a mystery in some aspects with his character. They don't delve into him that much in the film. But they do delve into like the daughter's history with certain aspects that happen with her later in the film, which I do like. And weirdness how this was filmed, like certain aspects of it, because some scenes are like live action, but then they turn to like this weird, crazy, like stop motion claymation type animation, and it's weird because it goes back and forth, and even like self inserts like live action on top of stop motion, or reverse. You know what I mean? So it's very weird in that aspect, and very odd, and just the bizarreness of like the cinematography and beautiful landscapes and setting of this film. The setting really sets the tone of like the atmosphere of the dark tone of this film, even though the dark tone is overshadowed by like the aspect of like the comical, like comedy and musical aspect of it. And I did like the songs for what they were. They were very elegant and great song numbers, I have to say, especially with like the characters and the way that the characters intertwine with each other. And some very funny scenes, especially when they discover like a second body in general, and it was just fucking funny the way that they're like thinking about how we're gonna get rid of this body, you know what I mean? And then they act on it, and it's just fucking funny as all hell. Super funny shit with this film, and just the aspect. This is one of I'm glad I got to finish this film finally. It was really super fun, and entertaining to say the least. With some great cinematography, and the acting was really good for what it was, especially with like the aspect of the musical numbers, because am a fan of musicals, and just the way that I didn't know this was like a full blown musical. I knew there was like musical numbers within it, but I didn't know it was like a full blown musical. But I did like that aspect of it, and I liked how Miike changed it up in certain aspects with the musical, and like not all the songs sound the same either, which I did enjoy that aspect also. So if I had to rate the happiness of the Katakuris, it's getting a solid 9 out of 10 from me. I highly enjoyed this film for what it was. Really entertaining and beautiful cinematography, great acting, and just an overall interesting story. I really want to go back and revisit The Quiet Family to see and compare the two together, because I know that one's like a straight more like dark comedy style with no like musical aspect. So I kind of want to go back and check out which one I would prefer, you know what I mean? But I do enjoy this and really didn't love it. So fucking awesomeness right here. So Happiness of the Katakuris, of course. I believe Tartan Asian Extreme released this first originally, but then Arrow Video put it out in this great Blu-ray set with like loaded with special features. This release, it's got like a full-length making of documentary on the film and 2 interviews with Takashi Miike and numerous other things. It actually even has like a little cool featurette where they go into like the stop motion animation, what they did with it and how they made like characters and the way that they process goes, which was really entertaining, and really highly enjoy that special feature. So yeah, 9 out of 10 for the Happiness of the Katakuris. Alright guys, this is for this review. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back tomorrow for day 29. And we're almost done. October and Halloween's almost here already. It's crazy. So I'll see you tomorrow guys. Peace out.